talk about?
I was going to talk about the trips to West Virginia. Well, we stopped also in Illinois at my other grandparents' house, but the main target for us was West Virginia. So driving, we stopped one time in a place called Little America, Wyoming, to buy gas. And it was a big truck stop and gas stop, and they had a store. And we went in and they sold firecrackers there. So we didn't have a lot of money, but whatever we had, we bought firecrackers. And then we took them with us to West Virginia, and we could shoot them freely. And then the next time we went, we saved all of our money, and we bought a lot of firecrackers. Little America. We would spend the whole summer just blowing up crawdads and anthills and stuff like that. Because what else are you going to do, right? It's West Virginia.
Bradley got it.
We
Brad,
Yeah, lizards and.
The farm has a creek, so we built a dam to try to make a swimming hole. And it didn't work too good, but the dam, they got it like maybe waist deep of water, but you really couldn't swim. It was just, but we tried.
Yeah.
We did that. One thing that happened, we found a hornet's nest. Hornet nest. And they're big like paper mache cones and like spiral around like that. Well, there's only one thing to do with a hornet's nest for kids, right? Is knock it down with a rock.
Yeah.
That's it. So we're out there throwing rocks at this hornet nest, and we were too far away. We get them closer and closer, and then we got real close and threw a pretty big rock, and it stuck right in the side of this thing. And then we got to run. So we're running. I don't know if Bob was with us. I think he had to be. Anyway, we're all running, and there was like a little small creek that came out of the farm. He had to jump over it. So I jumped over, and Bob jumped over. Bill jumped over, and then he turned around to look, and the hornet stung him right between the eyes. Right between the eyes. Boom. He was in agony. By the time we got to the house, his face was all swollen up.
Oh, wow.
And my grandma put like cold compresses on him, and he was miserable for a couple of
Ooh,
days.
I never heard that story.
Oh yeah, it was
I heard the story about the chickens. He wouldn't eat chicken for
chickens.
a long
Oh
time.
man, chickens. The first day we get there, we grew up in the city. We didn't know anything about anything
Right.
like this. The food is food.
From the grocery store.
No idea where it came from. My mom did the shopping. We didn't even do that. If she cooked chicken, she went and got a chicken someplace and cooked it. So we're there, and we'd flown to Washington, D.C., and my aunt and uncle drove us to the farm. So other people were coming, other family members. Grandma says, "You want to eat the chickens?" And they had just free-range chickens. So she'd go out and you call them a certain way, and they come from all over the place. Had a bucket of corn, actually. And you just throw it out there, and they just start to eat it. So we're enjoying this, and then she picks one up, and then realizes there's a stump there with an axe. And so she gets a chicken and just cuts its head off and lets it go. And so it's flying around like chicken with its head cut off. They fly. Okay, and the blood's spurting out like this, and the head's laying on the gun going, the beak is going like this.
Oh.
And she goes, "I don't think it's big enough. We got too many folks coming. So let me grab me another." Boom. So she got a second one. So I couldn't eat chicken for like 20 years.
Bill either.
And they ate chicken a lot, but never had chicken at the farm. Okay. Now that was such a shock just to see.
Yeah.
One thing we found in one of the farm buildings, we found a grinding wheel, a foot-operated big grinding stone, and we found some axes. So long-handled axes. So we asked our grandfather, "Can we cut down a tree?" Okay. He says, "Yeah, you can." So he says, "There's a dead poplar tree or something up on the hill. Cut that one down." So we went up, and you hit it with the axe, it just bounced off because it was so dry.
Yeah.
So we never could knock that tree down. But then we said, "Anything else we can cut?" He says, "Well, if you fellas want to go up on the upper meadow there, it's been overgrown by all kinds of saplings. You cut down any of those that you want." I go, "Really?" Okay. So we went down, we cut all of them. So 120 trees. And we just worked all day on it. Just chop, chop, chop. Let these trees, they were like this
Yeah.
big in diameter, maybe that big, maybe smaller. We didn't clear it. We just looked like the Battle of Verdun. Oh, you had all these stumps about this high, and the branches every place. Okay, we told him we were so proud. He said, "We cut them all down." He goes, "What do you mean all of them? We cut all of them, 120 of them." He goes, "No, I don't think so." So we did. He went up and looked. He goes, "Whoa." We sharpened those axes on that wheel. We just grind away. And, so he kept us busy for a few days.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else we can cut down?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. And then we tried to get crows. The crows were eating Grandma's garden corn. Okay, so we said, "We'll kill them," because we had our 22s.
Always we.
Yeah.
Right. So we were allowed to shoot on the farm. We could just shoot. So we chased those crows all summer, and we never got one. We took a lot of shots.
Really?
Never. They're just really smart. My dad
They
said West
are.
Virginia crow is pretty smart. And you just get right where you're about gun range, and it would just fly over to another spot. Caw, caw, caw.
Yeah.
So we went up and down the hills. We took 4 or 5 shots, but we never hit anything.
Yeah.
One of the best stories is the first night we got there. Uncle Junior came in. All 3 of us boys are in one room in our beds. He comes in. He has a very big West Virginia drawl, which he always kept. He's the only one in the family that kept the Okie drawl. So he says, opens the door. He goes, "Night, fellas." "Oh, good night, Uncle Junior." He says, "Open." He says, "Did you fellas do a hornet check?" "A what?" "A hornet check." "What's a hornet check?" He says, "You know, a hornet. Yeah, hornet, one of them little bees that are black and white bees. Yeah, a hornet." "Yeah." I said, "Well, did you check for them?" I go, "No, why?" He said, "Well, they don't like to get down right at the bottom where your feet are. And then if you don't check, you can stick your feet down there and get that hornet. Boom, all the blankets are off the beds. "Night, fellas."
Yeah.
And so he leaves, go.
What a
So
stinker.
we every night we would check with the hornets.
I love it.
And then there was an issue. My grandmother had a large garden, and groundhogs would get into it. So she'd say the groundhogs got into the cabbage again, or whichever. So we're thinking, "Well, Grandma, can we kill it?"
We can kill them.
Yes. So Okie says, "You fellas want to hunt groundhogs? They're really hard to hunt. And the way to do it is you take that empty bedroom that's overlooking Grandma's garden and get the window open, and you guys get up there, and they come out like pretty late at night. So you sit there with your gun loaded, don't talk, and just wait, okay? And when you see them, you shoot them. But if you talk, they'll hear you. So we can do that, because we did like 3 or 4 nights. Because of course we talked. Never saw a groundhog.
You really?
Never.
How cute.
Never. No, we never saw anything because we probably fell asleep up there.
Yeah.
All I know is
And it was night.
it was dark.
Yeah. He was smart. Did you ever find any good treasures from the Civil War or any of that stuff on it? No.
No.
Okay.
No. We caught a lot of snakes, water snakes, and I think the aunts would come when they were college kids. And one time we caught this big snake. It's a water snake, but what they worry about there is the water moccasin, or the cottonmouth is what it's called. So we made a big ruckus. So we had this really big snake. And when I think it was Lucille, we yelled, and she came out on the back porch, and we threw that snake down at her feet and yelled, "Watch out, it's a cottonmouth." And she freaked out, okay? And then she chased us.
Boy, I bet. I bet.
With a gun.
She didn't catch us, so we got away. She couldn't catch us. But
Was Lucille the oldest?
no, I think Hazel,
Hazel.
then Edith,
Okay. Then Edith and Skip.
and then Lucille. Lucille was the one most playful.
Okay.
These were the Galliens?
Yeah, all the
Yes.
Gallien sisters.
3
Norita.
girls, 2 boys.
Yeah. So she might have been the youngest also, but anyway, she's the one that we pulled the trick on.
Well, she wasn't younger than Junior, was she?
No, he's the youngest. she was, I think, the youngest girl.
The girl. Okay.
Or at least the one that got the attention from the boys to tease. Yeah, another thing was going on. Junior was dating somebody at that time because he was in college. He was working. He would come to the farm in the summer to help, and then Saturday night he would go out, and then Sunday morning at breakfast be the big discussion. So June, how was your evening, Grandpa? It's fine. Where'd you go? Just out. Anything interesting to talk about? Nope. Okay. That went on week after week. So I got the idea we could check his mileage because they were dying to know where he's going. So we went out.
Wait again.
We got mileage on the car, and then in the morning we went out and got the mileage, and he had driven like 29 miles. So the same conversation's happening. So we say, well, Grandpa, he drove 29 miles. 29 miles. Well, now they had to like do the whole circumference of where could he have gone. I think he zeroed it in pretty good. And then I think he was dating Lee at the time. And she was, I don't remember, but wherever she lived, in Philippines maybe. Anyway, the mileage calculated pretty much exactly to. He only could be in like 3 places, that he could have gone. And he was not happy with us at that time.
Thanks,
But we
kid.
finally
Yeah,
got him.
right.
He played a lot of tricks on us. Like they have a thing back there called a sweat bee. It's a little tiny bee. So we would we're helping him do fence. And the sweat bees would be out there and he goes, oh, you just do this with them, just like that with your thumb, just smash them.
And they sting you.
Yeah, they do. So that's what happens. They're on you like, oh my God. They don't sting like a bee, but they sting.
Junior is still a character.
Yeah. He had good, clean.
Did he tell you
Yeah.
about his little dog? He named him Trump.
Oh, Trump. Yeah.
Trump, yeah. And he has a little harness that he puts on him. And it's got the American flag.
Oh, really? Oh, God.